I'm sure, like many other people at the moment, we've all been watching and loving Heartstopper Season 2. And there are many things I love about that show, but one of them is Isaac and his books. He reads so many books throughout the show, so all throughout Season 2, I was keeping an eye out for whatever Isaac was reading. So I picked 3 books, and I'm going to be doing a little reading vlog and maybe criticising Isaac's reading taste. He does read quite a variety of books. We do see some like contemporary books, we see some romance books, we see some classics. I kind of get scared of the classics. I did see him reading Les Mis, I think like on the bus to Paris, and I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So I have picked my books today. One book though that I think was like towards the beginning of Season 2 was Ace of Spades. Love that book, but I read that last year. I think it was like the very first book that I read of 2022. It was great. Would recommend. But as for the books in Season 2, the first one I'm going to start with is The Outsider, and this is by Albert Camus. Camus, I think you would say. And I literally know nothing about this. I really know nothing about all the books on this list. I mean, I have definitely heard of them, and especially this one. I also know that it is published under the name The Stranger in the US, so it might sound familiar. This is actually a translated fiction. It was originally in French. It's quite short. It's very short, and it's quite small as well. It's around 120 pages, so hopefully I can like just really read this quickly. Don't know what this is about at all. In the back there's like this bit that is in red, and it says mother died today, or maybe yesterday. I don't know. Don't know what that says about the book, but I'm interested to see. Hopefully it's going to be a quick read. We'll see how that goes. And then next is We Are Okay by Nina LaCour. I've been wanting to read this book for a long time. I remember like back in the day I would see this quite often on BookTube, and I never really knew what it was about. But I'm excited about it because there was so many times where I wanted to buy this book but could never find it at the bookshops. But this is also quite short, 234 pages. The words are quite large as well, so that also seems like it will be a quick read, and I'm looking forward to it. Hardcover. These first two I did borrow from the library because I don't have them. The last book that I'm going to be reading is one that was on my own bookshelf, and that is Book Lovers. I don't really know much about this. Other than that, it's Emily Henry, and I know I'm gonna love it. I think it's like literary agents. Yeah, Nora is a cutthroat literary agent at the top of her game. Her whole life is books, and Charlie is an editor with a gift for creating bestsellers, and he's Nora's work nemesis. Enemies to lovers, perhaps, who knows? But these are my 3 books I'm aiming to read this week, and I'm interested to see what I think of Isaac's reading taste. It's the next day. It's freezing. I'm cold, and I'm not live, laugh, loving right now. It is not a good time. The Outsider? Kind of boring. I'm not even halfway through yet. I think I'm like 50 pages in. Like, I don't know why, it just feels like really bland. I'll read you a little bit from like the first page of the 3rd chapter, which isn't a spoiler because nothing happens. I worked hard at the office today. Full stop. My boss was kind. Full stop. He asked me if I wasn't too tired, and he also wanted to know how old my mother was. Full stop. I'm like, why? It's just like nothing's going on, and I just don't know how to feel about it. Also, something has happened that hasn't happened to me in a very long time, and it has made me distressed. I haven't had this happen to me in a library book since primary school, and that is I found a booger in the book. I don't know what's happening because this isn't a children's book. What adult would be smearing boogers in between the pages? I almost cried because my finger was so close to touching it when I was turning the page. It was so distressing. I hated that. My gosh, still kind of scared. I'm getting like chills just thinking about it. Nauseating. Why? Why has this happened to me? Ugh, gross. Anywho, I don't really want to read this, but it's that thin that I'm hoping I'll finish it today. I have done a little bit of uni work on my computer. I submitted some stuff today. I have assignments to do that I haven't really done too much of right at the moment. Yeah, I don't know, I can't be bothered. So that's the vibe of the day. I'm gonna have some lunch soon, maybe read some more of this. who knows? Hopefully we're up to the next book tomorrow because it has been a day since I last updated about The Outsider. I have since finished, and after that like 50-page mark where I said it was like really kind of boring, I mean it still was the whole way through, but it did take a little turn. In part 2 I guess the story picked up a lot more. It was still like dragging on, and I don't really get the whole point of this. I didn't love it. So that's The Outsider. I'm glad that's over, and I'm looking forward to reading We Are Okay today. I'm hoping this goes well. I'm pretty sure Kayla from Books and Lala, she like enjoyed this book. I can't remember. It was many years ago, I feel, when she read this book, but I feel like she liked it and then read more books by Nina LaCour. I'm not too sure, but I do remember hearing people liking it, and I'm hoping it is good after this book because that was a letdown. But I'm gonna get a start on this and I'll let you know how it's going. Again, with this I don't really know. I actually don't have a clue what it's about. I wouldn't know. You go through life thinking there's so much you need until you leave with only your phone, your wallet, and a picture of your mother. Okay, don't know what to expect. Hello, it has been a day since I started We're Okay, and I still don't completely know what it's going to end up being about, but at the moment we know that her mother died when she was 3, and I'm pretty sure her grandpa's dead. It's like a dual timeline. I think we've got like from a couple months ago to now, so I'm still like trying to figure out what's happening. I haven't read the blurb, so I don't know what's actually told before you read the book. She's had a big move, which I'm assuming is from her grandpa's death. Like, she lived in California, now she's living in New York. So I'm not really too sure what's going to happen. I did look though at Goodreads, and some people were saying that they were like absolutely destroyed after reading this and that it was really sad. It's Monday now and I have finished We Are Okay, and this was just okay. I ended up giving this a 3 stars. It was a quick read because it was quite small, but I feel like not a lot happened. Even though the things that did happen were like some difficult things, I just wasn't really affected. I guess I just had like quite high expectations for this book because, I don't know, I'd seen it around a lot and I thought it was just going to be something more than it was. It was still interesting, it was still sad in places, but I just was like indifferent to it. And don't get me wrong, it was really well written. I enjoyed the writing, but I don't know, like the content of the story just wasn't enough for what I was hoping it would be. But now that this is done, I have actually started Book Lovers this morning. I'm up to the 2nd chapter and I'm 31 pages in. And so far, out of the 30 pages that I have read, I'm really enjoying this. Obviously I knew I would because it's Emily Henry, and I haven't not loved an Emily Henry book. Like, just straight away you really get a sense of the characters and what the story is going to be like, and I love that. So I'm really looking forward to reading more of this. I'm hoping to read like at least 100 pages today. We'll see how that goes, but I'm enjoying it so far. Right now they're on the plane ready to go to their little small town holiday, and I'm so ready for it. I'm so excited. Hello, it is Tuesday today and I have read 139 pages of Book Lovers. I am really enjoying this so far. The only thing that I don't like is sometimes Nora's sister calls Nora sissy. It annoys me quite a bit, and I mean, it's fine to say it a couple of times, but she literally says it nearly every time she addresses her. So there's that. But I'm really loving this. I'm hoping I'll be finished by the end of tomorrow. I want to read a lot more of it today. Like, I'm nearly halfway, which is crazy. But it's nearly 2:30 at the moment. And then I do have to head out soon, so I won't be able to read for a while, but I'm excited to get to it tonight. However, I do have some exciting news. A couple vlogs ago, I believe, or I don't know when it was, but I was saying how I wanted to get the Sony headphones, and I did. I bought myself the Sony XM4s. I did get these rather than the 5s because the 5s just like sat out so far on my head, which I didn't like. But I've just like unboxed them right now, and I listened to a few Taylor Swift songs, of course, because what else do you listen to on the headphones? They're great. I love it. And I can't wait to like listen to some audiobooks on them because the noise cancelling is just going to be great. But also yesterday I did get some book mail from Macmillan. It is The Changing Man, and this is a debut thriller. I believe it's YA as well. And it says on the back, unsettling rumours swirl in the privileged halls of Nethercott Academy. Students are disappearing, and if they return at all, they're uncannily changed. As figures lurk in the shadows, watching and waiting, new student I don't really know how to pronounce that. IFE. I'll have to look that up. Will do whatever it takes to survive. But when the scales of power are tipped against you, what is the cost of fighting back? I mean, the cover looks really spooky. I'm so excited to read this, especially since it's getting closer and closer to spooky season. And this releases on the 12th of September, so get excited. I'm so excited to read this. Just because they let you in doesn't always mean they'll let you out. Ooh, ominous. Love it. But yes, I'm gonna head out at the moment. I'm gonna go for a walk, but I will get back to this as soon as possible. Literally cannot wait. Love it. And look how floppy it is as well. Like, obviously I'll take my bookmark out. Look at that. Look at that. It's perfect because you can just like hold it open and it will stay open. That's like my favorite thing in a book. I just finished Book Lovers by Emily Henry, and this was definitely my favourite out of Isaac's picks. It was very good. I loved it. I mean, I knew I would. But I'm thinking I'll end up giving this a 4.75 stars. Not exactly a 5. Like, I definitely did love Beach Read a little more than this. But this still has everything that an Emily Henry book has. We have great characters. I love the way she writes all her characters. They're so good all the time. And the character development, amazing. The storyline, great. And even though this is a romance book, I would say that the romance doesn't feel like it's the main plot. Like, you still get so much more depth in the characters as well that it actually feels kind of like a literary fiction, but not really, but like a romance literary fiction. This was everything that I was wanting from this book. I love the little small town setting, and I also love New York City. So I mean, kind of best of both worlds here. I loved it. And I'm looking forward to reading Happy Place now, but I am going to wait until it's in the smaller paperback size because I don't want the tall one because it will ruin my little Emily Henry collection. Although I do only own this in Beach Read. Definitely my favourite out of Isaac's picks, but we'll do a quick little recap again of the 3 books that I read from Isaac's recommendations. So first, The Outsider. What did I end up giving this? I can't imagine it being a lot. Like, I don't remember. I'm trying to block that out. Not that it was a bad book, but it definitely wasn't great. It was very bland. I feel like not a lot happened, and then in the 50-page mark something happened, but I was like, for what? Like, what's the reason? It was like kind of bad. So I ended up giving this a 2 stars. And yeah, I didn't love it. I mean, it was short, and if you're interested in reading like a classic, it's quick to read, but is it worth it? I don't really know. And I feel like Isaac does read quite a wide variety of books. You definitely do see him reading like some YA, some non-fiction even, and quite a few classics. This one, didn't love. Also, speaking of the YA books that he reads, I'm pretty sure he's also read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I do really want to read, especially since they're making the TV show at the moment. I can't remember if it's actually a TV show or a movie, but so excited to read those books. I do have the full trilogy on my shelf, so I should be getting to that super soon. Cannot wait. For the next book, We Are Okay, which again was just okay. I liked it, but I was expecting a little more. I think it's just because it's been around for a long time and I just keep seeing it pop up places. It just wasn't all that I was expecting. Still a great story, still written really well, and a short read as well, so easy to get through. Maybe not content-wise because there is some heavy topics in there. If you're interested, check it out. It's not terrible, but I gave it a 3 stars. And then of course, Book Lovers, my 4.75, my favourite of the vlog. Loved it. Thank you, Isaac, for reading this book because I've been wanting to read it for a long time. But that is basically it for this video. Obviously, Isaac has read a whole lot of books, so if you do want to see another round of this, let me know, because I haven't actually kept track of the books that he read in season 1 as well. So these were just from season 2 because that's what I watched recently and that's what I was looking at. But if you do want to see another video, maybe I'll do some season 1 books as well. Also, if you do like the idea of me reading like different movie or TV show characters, definitely check out the video that I did reading Rory Gilmore books. That was fun. Obviously there's still a lot there, so if you do want to see more versions of this kind of thing, let me know, because I find this so fun. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below, because I post new videos every single Saturday, so you don't want to miss it. And I will see you next week with a new video. Goodbye. I love Charlie Lastra. That is my TED Talk.